Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today let's continue our new chapter, which is chapter 6, Correlation and Regression. So in chapter 6, you have 5 subtopics, 5 main subtopics. The first one is scatter plots, okay, and then the second one is correlation. So in correlation there are correlation coefficient, hypothesis testing, t-test for the correlation coefficient, relationship between variables, and then the third subtopic is the regression. So this regression, group 8, will cover the subtopic for regression. And the fourth subtopic is the coefficient of determinations and standard error of the estimate. So in this subtopic, you're going to learn about variation, coefficient of determination, coefficient of non-determination, standard error of estimate, prediction on interval. And then the last subtopic, which is subtopic 5, will be covered by group 9. So group 9 will cover on multiple correlation coefficient, t-test for significance of R, and adjusted R. So this is chapter 6. So today for this video, inshallah I will cover on scatter plots first and then correlation. Okay. But first of all, let us know what is correlation coefficient. Okay, let's start with the statistic. So in statistic, there are involves determining whether a relationship. Okay, so in statistic, usually we have the relationship in the statistic. So this relationship is between two or more numerical or quantitative variable. So you must remember that there are relationship, there are contains two or more numerical or quantitative variable. So there are lots of variable exist in statistic, and we want to see whether each variable they have the relationship among each other. Okay. So statistic, and then we divide it into two. Okay, the first one is correlation and the second one is regression. So meaning that from the relationship, we can divide into two, which is the correlation. That correlation used to determine whether a linear relationship between variable exists. Okay, and then for the regression, we use regression to describe the nature of relationship between variable, whether it is positive relationship, negative relationship, linear relationship, or non-linear relationship. Okay, so you must remember that the first one is correlation to determine, and then the regression to describe the relationship. Okay, so what is the purpose of this chapter? So this chapter, the purpose, the first one is we want to know, is it from the variable, two or more variable, is it they are related among each other? Okay, and then the second one is we want also to know the strength of the relationship. Okay, and then the third one, we also want to know about the type of relationship, whether the relationship is simple or multiple. If simple, only simple for only two variable. So in two variable, we have independent and dependent. Okay. When you write y equal to a plus bx, so y is a dependent, x is independent. Okay, we will see this one inside this chapter. Okay. And then for the second one is a multiple. So multiple, the differences between simple and multiple. Simple, they only cover two variable, but multiple, we will cover more independent variable. So you can see the difference between the simple and the multiple. So multiple, we have lots of independent variable. Okay, and then the last one is we want to predict from the relationship. We can we can use relationship to predict. Okay, what are we going to predict? Lots of things. We can predict many things. Especially, for example, like weather forecast, stock market, sales, price, and so on. Okay. Okay. So what is scatter plot? Okay, scatter plot is a graph of ordered pair between x and y. So if you want to build a scatter plot, you must have the variable of x and y, meaning that you must have the independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, let's see. Okay, but before that, you can see your slide. So in your slide, okay, the first one, they cover about the subtopics. Okay, and then why we learn this chapter, and then the introduction, and then what is the meaning of correlation and regression. Okay, the purpose of this chapter. Okay, and then scatter plot. Okay, so scatter plot, you can see the example from here. Okay, the same example that I used. So this example is about the data shown for car rental companies in the United States for a recent year. So we have seats company and car, number of car in thousands, and number of revenue in millions. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to decide which one is the variable for x and which one is the variable for y. So which one is independent variable and which one is dependent variable. So you can see that x is a car as an independent variable and revenue as a y variable. Okay, so to plot the scatter plot, there are two steps. The first one is to draw and label the x and y axis. Okay, so how to draw? Okay, I have drawn this scatter plot. Okay, we have two axes, which is x and y. So x for cars and y for revenue. Okay, so when you saw the data for car and revenue, what you must do is to scale this one, you must divide into, okay, let's see this one, I divided this scale into 9. So starting from 8.5, 17.5, 26.5, and the last one is 62.5. So the differences between these numbers and this number is 9. So all is 9. 9. Okay, 9. Okay, and then for y, so y, I choose starting from 1.5 until 7.75. So the differences between each scale is 1.25. Okay, 1.25. So 1.25, 1.25. Okay, so let's plot. Okay, let's see. The first one is company F. So company F, X is 8.5. So 8.5 is here. And Y is 1.5. So plot. Okay, put your dot here. Okay, the next one is E. E, 13.5. Where is 13.5? Okay, maybe we say that it is here. 13.5 and 1.4. So 1.4 is here. Okay, and then 19.1. So 19.1 maybe here, and then 2.8 here. Okay, and then 20.8. Okay, where is 20.8? Okay, maybe here. 20.8, 2.1. So 2.1 here. Okay, and then 29 with 3.9 here. Okay, and then the last one is 63 here, 7. Okay, so this one is scatter plot. Scatter plot, we try to plot the variable for x and y. Okay, so in scatter plot, there are lots of types in scatter plot. If your scatter plot is like this, so we can see that they have the positive relationship. But if your scatter plot like this, so this is, we call it as negative relationship. But if your scatter plot like this, so we can see that the relationship is very weak. Okay,